"Step aside, ma'am. This is official court business." The words sliced through the bustling courthouse hallway like a cold wind. A tall, broad-shouldered security guard stood in front of her, palm raised slightly in that dismissive way that made it clear. He wasn't making a request, he was giving an order. The woman he was addressing paused mid-step. She was dressed in a sharp navy blue suit, her hair neatly pulled back, her heels clicking softly against the marble floor just moments earlier. She had arrived early, as she always did, ready for the day's trials, but clearly, someone here thought she didn't belong. The hallway was alive with the murmurs of attorneys, clerks, and nervous defendants waiting for their cases to be called. The air carried the faint scent of fresh coffee mixed with the sharp tang of printer toner. Heads turned toward the confrontation, curiosity sparking in every glance. Some people slowed their steps, eager to watch how this would play out. The guard, wearing a badge that reflected the overhead lights, gave a quick glance at her ID badge, which she hadn't even taken out yet, and then back at her face. "The judge will be here any minute," he said in a tone dripping with misplaced authority. "So we need this hallway clear. Please wait over there with the others." He gestured toward a small group of people sitting along the wall, mostly witnesses, jurors, and people called for hearings. The woman's lips pressed into a thin line. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't show anger. Instead, she tilted her head slightly, studying him. For a few seconds, she just let the silence hang in the air. And then she spoke slowly, clearly, with a weight in her voice that made a few people nearby lean in. "I am the judge." The words seemed to stop time. The laughter of a pair of lawyers down the hall died mid-chuckle. The click of someone's phone camera button halted. The very energy in the space shifted. A couple of people looked at each other as if to confirm. "Did she just say what I think she said?" The guard blinked rapidly, clearly not believing her at first. He gave a half-smile, the kind you give when you think someone is joking with you. "Right," he muttered, "and I'm the mayor." He took a step forward, clearly about to insist again that she move, but then she reached into her purse. She pulled out a sleek leather folder, the kind that holds important documents, and flipped it open. Inside was her official identification card, stamped and signed by the state. There was her photo, her name, her title in bold letters, Judge Angela Brooks. It was as if all the color drained from his face at once. His confident posture wilted, his shoulders slumping ever so slightly. Sorry, Your Honor," he stammered, the words tripping over themselves. "I didn't realize," but Judge Brooks didn't let him finish. She snapped the folder shut, slid it back into her purse, and said in an even voice, "No, you didn't." She stepped past him without another word, her heels echoing with a sharper rhythm now, each step a reminder that she had earned every inch of her place in that building. Behind her, the hallway was dead silent. Even the faint hum of the vending machine seemed muted. The onlookers who had been smirking earlier now stared, wide-eyed, at the woman who just revealed herself to be the highest authority in the room. And somewhere deep down, every single one of them knew they had just witnessed something bigger than a misunderstanding. Judge Angela Brooks walked into the courtroom without looking back. The heavy wooden doors swung shut behind her, sealing the moment in the hallway away like it had never happened. But it had, and the image of that security guard's pale, embarrassed face lingered in her mind. She took her seat at the bench, the robe settling across her shoulders like armor. The courtroom itself was quiet, only the shuffling of papers and the nervous coughs of attorneys breaking the stillness. She adjusted her glasses, tapped her gavel lightly to bring the room to order, and began the day's proceedings as if nothing unusual had occurred. But the guard from earlier was now stationed in the corner, standing stiffly at attention, his eyes fixed firmly on the opposite wall. He didn't dare meet her gaze. For him, the morning had started with routine. Now it was a lesson in humility he wouldn't forget. Angela had seen this before, in courtrooms, in meetings, in airports, even at her own college graduation years ago. That split-second assumption that she didn't belong. It wasn't always hostile. Sometimes it came in the form of polite surprise. Sometimes in the form of a question that didn't need to be asked. But other times, like today, it was blunt and dismissive. A reminder that even after decades in law, after climbing to one of the most respected positions in the justice system, some people still couldn't picture a black woman as the one in charge. By the time the last case of the morning wrapped up, the room was thinning out. She removed her robe and neatly folded it over her arm before stepping down from the bench. as she walked toward the exit. She noticed the guard still lingering near the doorway. He looked as if he wanted to disappear into the wall. She stopped in front of him. "I'm not angry," she said softly. He finally glanced at her, his posture stiff. "But I do want you to understand something. Every day, people walk into this courthouse who are more than they appear. You might think you can tell who they are or what they're capable of just by looking, but you can't. And if you judge someone's place in this world by their skin, their gender, or the way they dress, you're going to be wrong a lot more than you're right." The guard swallowed hard and nodded. "I understand, Your Honor," he said quietly. Angela gave him a faint smile. "Good, then maybe next time you'll recognize the person in charge, no matter what they look like." She walked past him and into the bright afternoon sunlight. Later that day, a witness who'd overheard the entire hallway incident posted about it online. Within hours, the story spread. People from all over the country were talking about Judge Brooks, praising her composure and her words. And maybe, just maybe, a few more people would think twice before telling someone to step aside.